Georgia Tech and a hell of an engine. A hell of a. Oh! Hey, y'all. Congratulations on your acceptance to Georgia Tech. On behalf of the Institute, we are so glad that you have decided that you want to become a member of the Yellow Jacket family. My name is Chandler Woods, and I am a fourth year, let me see if I can get all this right, business major concentrating in strategy and innovation and minoring in public policy. Like most of you on the call, I'm actually not from the state of Georgia. I was born and raised a few hundred miles north in Kingsport, Tennessee, but I am delighted to be your host for today's session of Connect with Tech. Take it from somebody with experience, that's me. Becoming a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket will be one of the best decisions that you'll ever make. So today I'm here to help y'all envision what that decision might just be like. But today it's critical that we have your participation as well as mine. So we'll be posting some polls throughout our program, so please make sure to weigh in. Why don't we do one just to get started? Our first poll for today is, what are you most excited about for college? We know that this is an exciting new time for you. It was certainly an exciting new time for me and still is. So tell us why. During our programs today, we hope to share some information with you and your families over the next few months. So I guess not just today. So we're going to have several programs starting today. We know that many of you have not been able to visit campus with everything going on, which, by the way, special note, in the South, we don't say coronavirus, COVID-19, none of that. We just say everything going on. So if you hear that, you know exactly what we're talking about. But with everything going on, we know that many of you all have not yet been able to visit campus, so we want to do our best to bring campus to you. It's our hope that you will learn more about what has been happening on campus, meet different members of our GT community, and other great things like that. So to get started, I'm going to turn it over to our marvelous Director of Admissions, Mr. Rick Clark, who has a message for y'all, the newest members of the Yellow Jacket family.
Congratulations again on being admitted to Georgia Tech. We are so glad that you're taking a little bit of time to learn more about this amazing place. We are very excited today to have some amazing speakers, some professors, students, as well as some of our staff that you're going to have a chance to interact with. We really know right now that you're sitting probably on a bunch of different offers and you're weighing your options, and that's exactly what you should be doing. So our goal in this program is to just introduce you to some of our best folks, to give you an opportunity to interact a bit, ask some questions, and really just see what makes Georgia Tech so great. So sit back, enjoy, and we look forward to hosting you today.
We take pride here at Georgia Tech in our reputation of being a rigorous and STEM-oriented institution. But one thing about Georgia Tech is that we do just about everything here. College is not just about becoming proficient in your major. Don't get me wrong, we definitely want you to do that too. But we also want you to become involved in the amazing and unique community, both here within Georgia Tech on campus and also in the incredible city of Atlanta. Our students are involved in everything from service sororities to a club strictly devoted to cereal tasting, sponsored by Kellogg, by the way. With over 500 organizations here at Georgia Tech, there is something for everyone, and we absolutely want you to find your niche. Over the last year, I have worked alongside one of my best friends to establish our own student organization focused on early education intervention in the Atlanta area K-12 community. This organization is called Buzz Buddies. Get it right? Also, I have to make a note. I'm wearing shoes with Buzz on them. I know y'all can't see them, but I figured I'd be spirited. The organization is called Buzz Buddies, and in conjunction with the Mr. Georgia Tech Endowment, we are hosting our very first service project right now. Buzz Buddies is partnering with William Boyd Elementary School, which is just a few miles northwest of campus, to host the Ramblin' Reading Day book drive and reading event. Our drive began on February 1st, and it continues into mid-March. Boyd has set up basically an Amazon wish list for us, and Tech students, faculty, and staff have been accessing the wish list and purchasing books for Boyd kids. Those books are shipped directly to Boyd, and they've been accumulating in their staff offices over the last few weeks. Our goal as a project is to collect enough books for each Boyd student to take one home of their own. So we're shooting for 500 books total because that's about how many students we have at Boyd. The book drive will culminate into our Ramblin' Reading Day event on March 23rd, and we're really excited about it. We're going to deploy tech volunteers to help distribute books at Boyd, masked and socially distant, of course. And my personal favorite part is we're actually going to have some other tech volunteers serve as virtual mystery readers in Boyd classrooms. So our volunteers will actually Zoom call in and read students in every single Boyd classroom, all 26 of them. We're also going to send Boyd students home with some Georgia Tech swag so that they can start early in envisioning themselves in the spot that y'all are in right now as admitted students and that I'm in right now as an undergraduate senior. Y'all are more than welcome to visit the Ramblin' Reading Day website, which I think is going to be dropped in the chat to learn more. It'll explain a little bit more about the project. Boyd's wish list is there and all that good stuff. On to the next. Today we have two special guests joining us to help give you an inside look at tech. And our first guest is Dr. Lauren Stewart. Let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Stewart. Dr. Stewart is an associate professor of civil and environmental engineering and the director of the Structural Engineering Laboratory. Dr. Stewart received a BS in structural engineering from the University of California, San Diego, and a PhD in structural engineering also from UCSD. Research interests include blast engineering. I have no idea what that is, so I hope to find out what it is. Mechanical shock and impact, hazards engineering, and computational mechanics. And in her free time, she enjoys spending time with her husband, James, and her dog, Harper. She also is a football fan, a golfer, and a Pilates fanatic. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Lauren Stewart.
Hi, Chandler.
How are you?
I'm good.
We are here with our newest admitted students, and so I first just wanted to give you an opportunity to share your congratulations with them.
Sure. So on behalf of the faculty at Georgia Tech, congratulations for being admitted. We know that you've all worked really hard to achieve this, and to the parents and the support systems that are listening in, we know that you've also worked very hard, likely to have this happen as well, and you should be proud as well. The faculty is always excited to welcome a new class to Georgia Tech. The absolute best part of my job is working with students and being in the classroom. And I really just hope that you make the decision that's best for you and your college experience is challenging and rewarding.
Awesome. So Dr. Stewart, it sounds like you're involved in some pretty amazing things. So can you share a little bit about what your role is here on campus and what kind of research you're currently working on?
Yeah, so I'm an associate professor, and professor can mean a lot of different things at Georgia Tech. My role is I focus on both teaching and research, so I get to do a bit of both. Some faculty do one or the other, it just kind of depends. And associate means that I'm mid-career, so I'm in the middle of the three roles. So I'm not the earliest and I'm not the most senior, right in the middle. And I do research in blast engineering, so that means that I'm designing and trying to understand structures, so concrete, steel, any kind of material to withstand explosive events. So wow. Counterterrorism, I'm trying to make infrastructure safer.
Wow, that sounds awesome and very interesting and very difficult. So I'm glad you're doing it and not me. But I think we actually have a video clip of the structural engineering lab and an experiment that you were conducting. Do you mind if we show it real quick for our students watching to see a little bit about what you do in the lab?
No, go right ahead.
We're here now in the Structural Engineering and Materials Laboratory, run by Dr. Lauren Stewart, and she's over here to tell us a little bit more about what goes on in this lab. Hi, Dr. Stewart.
Hi, Emily. Welcome to the lab.
Thank you.
So in this lab, we're simulating blast loads on structures and components with a hydraulic actuator to make design choices to make our buildings and bridges safer. In fact, Rebecca here is putting some finishing touches on an experiment that we're doing on concrete. And you have really good timing because we're about to do an experiment right now. Would you like to join us in our control area?
Yeah, that would be great.
All right, let's go.
Fire ready, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
That is some pretty awesome stuff. Like I said, I'm glad that is you working on it. It looks really hard, looks really rigorous, but hey, that's what we're about here at Georgia Tech. I've got just a few questions for you, if that's okay, if you've got a little bit of time.
Sure.
All right. So over the next 2 months, our admitted students will be making a big decision on where to attend college. But I think one thing that many people don't think about often is that for many faculty members like yourself, you had to make a similar decision on where you were going to do your research and where you were going to teach. So why did you choose to become a part of the Yellow Jacket family?
Yeah. So like you said, I had some choices to make, and ultimately you're kind of making the same decision. You're trying to figure out where you're going to best fit, where you think that you are going to belong. Of course, most people have many choices. There's a lot of really good schools, so you can't really make a bad decision there. But for me, I tried to find the place where I felt like I had family, was going to have family and a sense of belonging. So I have two quick stories of what made me choose Georgia Tech on my interview. The first was that they take you on these interviews and they walk you around with other faculty, walking with a faculty member. And on the way to the meeting, he must have said hi to or hello to every student that we passed by name. He knew the custodians, he knew the landscapers, he knew everybody's name and gave everybody a wave. So
Wow.
I immediately thought, okay, this is a place that I could feel at home. I too also stop and wave at every student that I meet or see passing by on campus. My other sense of feeling like home is was a quite rainy day when I came, and I'm from Southern California. And you think with 10 years of engineering school, higher education, I would have been able to operate the umbrella that they gave me. That was in fact not true. And within a second, I had 4 faculty teasing me about it. So in my family, having people tease you for your own bumbles is, a par for the course. So that was a little anecdote that made me feel like I was choosing the right place.
Absolutely. I can also attest to the fact that it feels like a family here. Sorry that you came on a rainy day, but I can also attest to the good weather. I'm from about 250 miles northeast in Tennessee, and just to come down a little bit latitude down to Atlanta, the winters are temperate and the springs and falls and summers are amazing. So if you're watching from, Connecticut or Maine or somewhere really cold right now, it was 70 degrees today. It's sunny. There's not a cloud in the sky. Can't promise every day will be like that, but you should definitely come check it out because I'm a big fan of the Atlanta weather.
Short sleeve weather today.
Absolutely. So our next question, a little birdie told me that you were voted one of the best professors in the College of Engineering by women students. First of all, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Can you share a little bit about the honor and what it meant to you as a faculty member here at Tech?
Yeah, so there's not that many awards that are given out that are voted for by the students. A lot of times we get awards, but they're not necessarily voted on by students. So having an award that came directly from the students meant a lot to me. That's not a commonplace for us as faculty. And for me, it just made me feel like I was doing a good job, which is always great, and also pushed me to continue trying to be the best educator I can. As I said, students are my favorite part of the job. I could have done the research side other places, like working at a university to work with students. So that meant a lot. And I'm thankful for the students for voting me for that award.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And congratulations again. As a business major, I don't know that I will ever find my way into one of your classrooms, but if I get the chance, I'll make sure to check it out.
You can come audit anytime you want.
Perfect. I'll call my advisor tonight. Can you share with us a personal victory moment, maybe a eureka moment that you've had while being a professor at Tech and working with students in research?
Yeah, so I'm really lucky. I work with just amazing students, and we have really great discoveries often in the lab where we come up with new models. We feel like we're having an impact on infrastructure and making people safer. I will say that for every one victory moment, we have about 100 failures. And I sometimes say sometimes you win and sometimes you learn, and actually all of those failures and all of the learning is what makes research research. And so I think that maybe our failures are actually, something that should be celebrated. It got us to all of these victories. So I think that is translatable to many other aspects of life as well. But we definitely couldn't have had all of those eureka moments to come up with all these designs without just a zillion failures that nobody talks about. So.
Right. Absolutely. I think one of my favorite things about culture on campus here is that we don't shy away from a challenge. We don't bring in prospective students and say, don't worry, college will never be hard. College is hard, but, one of my favorite things about challenge at Tech is it's not demotivating. It's really, it inspires you to keep going. It's the kind of problem that you really want to get to the bottom of, and I'm sure that you all feel that in your lab as well.
Yeah.
All right, so outside of research and all of the cool structural engineering things that you do, we heard that you're into sports and that you enjoy watching particularly football and playing golf. So can you share with us what team you are usually cheering on? And there is one particularly wrong answer, that's the University of Georgia, but any other team, what team are you usually cheering on?
Yeah, so I think I have one regret about my college experience is that I didn't go to a school with a football team.
Oh, no.
So it was really easy to pick a team when I got to Georgia Tech. And so that's my answer, of course. But I think, the reason why is not just because I love football and having the contrast from a university that didn't have football. It's not just the sport. It's the sense of school spirit and community that comes with having that sports culture. And I've seen the difference because I didn't have that in my higher education experience. So yes, I cheer for Georgia Tech. It's an easy decision, and the school spirit, you can't be beat, and it just brings in that sense of community.
Absolutely. That's great to hear. Fun fact for all our admitted students out there, the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech, our official institute fight song, is the most recognized fight song in the world. They've done research studies on this. So if you don't know the words yet, my encouragement to you is get ahead and go on our traditions page at Georgia Tech, learn the words to the fight songs, both Up with the White and Gold and Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech, and you will be ready for any football game that you go to. And we're looking forward to that. All right, Dr. Stewart, I've got just one more question for you before you go. Do you have any last words of wisdom or pieces of advice for our new Yellow Jackets?
Yeah, I think the important thing to know is at this age, there, really isn't a wrong decision. There's a lot of right decisions. So hopefully you'll choose Georgia Tech, and that'll be the right decision for you. The university experience is one that you can choose to take advantage of. As Chandler said before, you can find your people at Georgia Tech, your people. You can try different things, get involved, do as many activities as you can. You won't regret doing that. And on the faculty side, we may seem scary and intimidating, but there's a lot of us that aren't. So, find a faculty member that you can gain advice from and reach out and take advantage. A lot of us, the students are the best part of our job. So take advantage of that support system that you have in higher education as well.
Dr. Stewart, on behalf of everybody on the call, we want to thank you so much for your time and good luck with all of your research endeavors. Hope to see you at a football game this year. Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
And we hope you'll come back soon.
All right. Bye.
Thank you so much. All right, before we bring out our second guest today, I'd like to share a little bit about one of the many ways that students can get involved here on campus with innovation at Tech. Our tagline here at Tech is creating the next. So innovation is kind of a centerpiece of our academic curriculum. And this is one of the most cool ways that you can get involved in innovation here. So I'm going to read out the official definition of this event, and then I'll summarize it real quick for all y'all. Nicknamed American Idol for Nerds, the Emmy Award-winning InVenture Prize at Georgia Tech is an interdisciplinary innovation competition open to all undergraduate students and recent graduates of Georgia Tech. Created in 2009 and organized by Georgia Tech faculty, the competition brings together student innovators from all academic backgrounds across campus in an effort to foster creativity, invention, and entrepreneurship. In a short word, this is basically a really, really cool invention contest, but it is not just an ordinary invention contest, and it's, in my opinion, even cooler than like Shark Tank. The winner walks home, okay, get this, with $20,000 cash, and one of the things you'll learn here at Georgia Tech is super valuable, a free U.S. patent filing through Georgia Tech's Office of Technology, which is valued at another $20,000. We've had some amazing ideas soar to victory in this competition, but don't just take my word for it. Why don't you check out this next video?
Welcome to the 12th annual Georgia Tech InVenture Prize. All of this year's finalists have already made it through a gauntlet of multiple levels of interdisciplinary competition against extremely qualified challengers.
We're Syndelic, and we're making a smart scheduler that's backed by artificial intelligence.
We're Team Squad Buddy, and we're your spotter from the future.
The autonomous firefighting robot gives the fastest response to building fires.
Watch is tomorrow's tools for today's solar.
What an incredible way to spend an evening awarding $35,000 in startup money and patent assistance to these incredible teams here on the InVenture Prize stage.
After speaking with nearly 100 doctors and patients across the country, we realized that we were just scratching the surface.
To get to this stage is a prize unto itself.
If you think waiter is greater, don't be a hater.
Everyone is doing something really, really impressive.
Amazing what you've built.
Georgia Tech graduates and InVenture Prize competitors have gone on to create incredibly successful companies.
It's more fun to be on the judging side than the competing side.
The InVenture Prize is proof positive that absolutely nothing can stop innovation at Georgia Tech.
That is so awesome. You know, sometimes I look at the InVenture stuff and I'm like, wow, those people are really smart. Like, they must go to a great school. And then I remember, oh yeah, I go to that school, and all of you all have the opportunity to come to this school too. So as you look up to those people who have done amazing things, just remember that that could very easily be you in a number of years, and we hope it is. So I'm going to bring in our next guest now, because our next guest plays a huge role when it comes to student startups, innovation, and the InVenture Prize here at Tech. So our next guest, Reid, is the Interim Assistant Director for Student Innovation and Undergraduate Research in the Office of Undergraduate Education. Recha's responsibilities include planning and coordinating innovation programs and competitions for undergraduates, which includes the InVenture Prize competition, and also collaborating with faculty to develop and implement programming specific to undergraduate research. Recha enjoys traveling, trying new recipes, and visiting museums. So please join me in welcoming Reid. And I have to say, I'm sorry that you enjoy traveling and trying new recipes and visiting museums. I think two of those are probably a little bit more difficult to do here with everything going on, but I hope you've done a lot of cooking at home and gotten to try your new share of recipes, but welcome.
Thank you. I actually still got to go to museums just virtually, so actually cheaper, right? So
there you go. Look on the bright side of life. Well, Recha, we're here with newly admitted students, and they just got to hear from Dr. Lauren Stewart. So before we jump into some question, I wanted to first give you an opportunity to share your congratulations with.
Congratulations. This is such a fantastic institution, and so when you're thinking about where to go, what to do, I want you to actually think about just all the opportunities that you can get at Georgia Tech. And so congratulations. I think the position you're in is a fun and stressful one when you're trying to decide kind of what your future looks like for the next 4 to 5 years. And so congratulations and best of everything in your decision-making process, because it's going to be tough.
That's awesome. So can you share a little bit about your role on campus? What types of programs do you work with, and how do those programs help to promote student innovation and entrepreneurship?
Thank you. So I manage 2 distinct programs. So I work on student innovation, and that includes the InVenture Prize, of course. And I also work on undergraduate research. And so I work to promote student innovation and entrepreneurship on campus in several ways, but a few of them. The staff advisor or faculty advisor for 4 student innovation clubs, including Startup Exchange. And you can just pretty much, if you're bored, you can go to startup.exchange to look to learn a little bit more about that organization, and hack.gt, which again is another fun student club as well. I also work on several projects. And so one of them is one-on-one coaching. And so one of the things that I do is, if you're like, I'm interested in innovation, but I have no idea, you can hang out with me for a little bit and we can talk through what that means. But regardless of which state you're in, you can always stop in for a chat, whether in person, because I am doing that, and also virtually as well. We also have early stage funding, and this is brought to you by alumni of Georgia Tech. Alums actually give back a lot to Georgia Tech, and they want you to succeed as well. We have different workshops and activities that we work on. And so the idea is that we're networking, we're building this infrastructure of innovation and entrepreneurship, both on campus and in Atlanta. And so you get the opportunity to network in that way as well. So a bunch of different things, but all for your good, to make sure that you have fun while you're at Tech.
That's great. So one thing I want to make a note of before I move on to this next question is, don't feel like that you have to be an engineer to participate in innovation and entrepreneurship, right? There is a role for every single major on this campus to get involved. And as a matter of fact, really, innovation and entrepreneurship cannot happen without involvement from all 6 of our colleges. I mean, you think about, if you want to start a successful business, you need business knowledge, you need a product to sell, you need marketing in the liberal arts wing, you need somebody to code you a website, everything. So I bet a lot of our students from all of our different disciplines are interested in innovation. So my question for you is, what advice would you give to new undergrad students who want to create a startup or get involved in entrepreneurship but don't exactly know how to get started?
So the first thing I'll probably say is, find something you're passionate about. It doesn't have to be something that's tied to your major. Chandler's talked about it in terms of whatever area that your college you're in, you can actually look at that. But also, if you're looking at different things around the house or different problems that you may be experiencing or your friends are experiencing, that's a fantastic way to start. So pay attention to those issues that people are having, and then see if they're actually trying to solve it. If they have the problem but no one actually cares to solve it, then it's probably not one you want to waste your time on. But look at if they're actually trying to solve it in some ways. I gave an example. My favorite example is that if you're taking your dog for a drive to the dog park, and they keep on climbing into the front seat, you can think, okay, what do I do? You can use your elbow, you can use your bag. But another way is that you can actually invent something to actually put across those 2 seats. That actually is something that someone thought of because of that situation that we're experiencing. And so just look around your life and go, okay, what problems do I have? How am I solving that? And then can you think of a better way? And find other people who are actually as worried about the problem as you are. And that's one way. But find something you're passionate about, and I think you're headed in the right direction.
That's great. And, Georgia Tech is a great place to find people with common interests. There are, I won't release how many undergrad students we have because that'll come up later, but there are a lot of people on this campus. And so odds are you're going to find some people that share the same passions that you do. And, one of the ways that you can actually act on those passions is through participation in the InVenture Prize. And so while we have you here, I do have a couple questions about InVenture Prize. And the first one is, how much planning goes into the InVenture?
A lot. So we start planning around July or August for the event that actually happens in March. So you can see a long while. We roughly have about 120 to 150 students that participate in it, and we end up with a team of 6. So not 6 students, but 6 teams that may involve one person or as many as that team wants to have. And so we also work with 2 production companies. So Chandler just showed the video of this on stage, live, fantastic production. And that's how the two production companies come in, right? And they work together. And so we actually stream it live across the world. So wherever you are in the world, you can actually watch it. And then if you're in Georgia and the surrounding areas, you can actually watch it on GPB and PBS as well. And so we have coaching that we actually coach the students who are involved in it. We actually give them funding outside of what Chandler talked about. We give them mentorship from people within the Atlanta community. And we also make sure that when you're on stage that you're comfortable. And so we also work with the students a lot to make sure that they feel comfortable actually presenting on stage or pitching their idea. So that's some of the things that are involved in the InVenture Prize.
It sounds like a lot of great exposure for the students. So, the video showcased some of the amazing things that InVenture Prize contestants have developed over the years. So my question for you is, what has been your favorite InVenture Prize memory so far?
So this is a tricky question. So I don't have like one singular, like this is the memory for a lifetime. But what I love to see is I have students that starting the program in about August, or they're thinking about it, and then they actually sign up officially in January. And they come in and you hear from them, and then you see them on stage and you're just blown away. And so one of my things always students, they're like, oh, I can never do the InVenture Prize because I can't be that. I'm like, no one is that. They all start out kind of the same way. But then with coaching and just perseverance and just believe in themselves, actually, that you see them on stage and you're just like, Georgia Tech students are phenomenal. And so we get to see that every single year. So one of the reasons I love my job is because of this.
That's awesome. And it's what college is all about, right? It is the growth experience to come in and hopefully everyone already has their passions, but to be able to, mobilize those passions for some kind of good cause. And so, I know that I speak on behalf of many when I say thank you for all of the work that you do to make sure the InVenture Prize happens.
My pleasure.
One of the questions that we've got, I know you mentioned that you can watch the InVenture Prize, and it's coming up soon, right? So what are the dates for the InVenture Prize for any students interested in checking it out?
So it's actually on March 17th, and it's going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so you can go to our website, and I'll put that in the chat a little bit later if it's not in there. It's inventureprize.gatech.edu. And you can go, and that will give you the direct link to stream it across the world. But if you're in Georgia or nearby, you can actually go on GPB/PBS, and you can watch it 7:30 p.m. on March 17th. Oh, and another thing I didn't mention is that while you're watching, you get to vote on who takes home the People's Choice, and that's an award of $5,000. So.
Sounds awesome. Sounds like a lot of fun. I will definitely be tuning in March 17th at 7:30 p.m.
Perfect.
All right, that sounds good. Okay, just a couple more questions before you go. We know that you stay very busy with all the InVenture Prize planning that you have, but we have heard that you like to try new recipes. So we're all wondering, what is a new recipe that you have tried during the last year?
Ooh, this is a tricky one. Okay, so I love pretty much any cuisine, but I love pasta. I'm really liking pasta for some reason. Pretty much anything
Great
pasta.
Choice.
Pretty much carbs. And so I've been trying a bunch of different pasta dish from scratch. And my latest one is carbonara sauce with, regular pasta. And this is something I love. So I've been tackling that. And I'm always looking for new and exciting recipes. And so if anyone has one, please put that in the chat.
That sounds good. Pasta is one of my favorites too. I have to stay away from the Italian, especially because with all these online classes, I haven't been walking around campus as much as I usually do, so I've really had to be careful to lay off the pasta, but I feel that 100%. We've got one more question before you go, and this is just a general final question. Do you have any final words of wisdom or pieces of advice for our newly admitted students?
I say breathe. Take some time to actually appreciate the space you're in at the moment. And if you do decide to make Georgia Tech your home, I say have fun in your program. At Georgia Tech, there's many opportunities and we want you to take advantage of them. And so just keep that in mind that regardless of what you want to do, there's probably a program or a space that you can actually be in to actually do that. We are here to help you. And so my words of wisdom is actually to reach out. So if you need help, if you have, want to start something, we are here for you as a resource. So always remember that you can reach out to someone, including myself.
Recha, Reid, thank you so much for your time and hope you have a great rest of the day and good luck with all of your InVenture Prize planning.
Thank you.
All right, so the name of this session is Connect with Tech, but for there to really be a connection, the learning has to go both ways. So we want to get to know all of you a little bit better through a social media giveaway. So since many of you are probably watching from out of state, we want to showcase where all of our students are coming from. So all you'll need to do is go to the GT Admission Instagram account, and so the handle is @GTAdmission, and screenshot the Get to Know Me graphic. I think it's an Instagram story. So you'll screenshot the graphic, fill it out with all of your own story. Make sure that you tag, this is really important, in the story, make sure you tag somewhere @GTAdmission, and then post it to your Instagram story. And we will do a drawing at the end of the day for 2 lucky winners to receive this week's prize. And we won't tell you what the prize is, just know it's something really totally awesome. So we encourage you to hop on @GTAdmission, fill out the, share your story, share it with us, and let us know where you're coming from and what you're about. The life of a Georgia Tech student, it never gets boring. Each day is a new adventure, and I certainly wouldn't change it for anything in the world. But you don't just have to take it from me, because I know that I've been talking a lot. So why don't you take it from our next 2 guests, Deshawn and Jackie. So they're going to show you just how unique your experience at Georgia Tech can be. So please welcome Deshawn and Jackie. All right, I think we've got them in here. Hello, y'all. How are you?
Hey, Chandler. Thanks for having us.
No problem, and thank you all so much for being here. We are here with our newly admitted students tuning in today, and before we dive into some questions and get our game of Georgia Tech by the numbers underway, I wanted to give you both the chance to say congratulations to our newly admitted.
Congrats, everyone. It hasn't been that long since I was in your position, so I know very freshly how exciting and how stressful that can be. Congrats, you have tons of opportunity in front of you. Really take the time to think about that opportunity and really know the wonderful opportunity that you have as being admitted into this institution.
Great.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. It's an awesome honor, and it gets harder every year. So you guys are even smarter than my class.
All right, so can you both share a little bit about where you came to Tech from, what your major is or was, and a little bit about your involvement on campus? And I'm going to do this right this time, so let's start with Deshawn.
All right. So I'm from Hinesville, Georgia, which is like 4 hours south of here. It's like, if you don't know the area, it's like closer to Savannah, like an hour south of Savannah-ish. So that's where I'm from. But I've been in Atlanta for a little minute now, so I'm pretty local. Let's see, my major. I am a computer engineering major. This is the spring semester of my 2nd year, but I took a pre-semester, so it's technically my 5th semester here. And I think I'm missing something. What else was it, Chandler?
All right, well, we had name, major, and involvement on campus.
Involvement on campus. Okay. I can't say that I do a ton of things on campus, but I am involved in the Black student recruitment team. So that's tons of fun. I get to talk to new students like you all the time. I am a brother at Phi Kappa Sigma, which is probably my biggest involvement on campus because you have to be involved for that. And as a side note, I used to participate in the anime club before everything started going on. But now it's kind of harder to get together.
Awesome. Well, and here's a side note for all our admitted students. Just about everybody I know at Georgia Tech says, well, I don't know that I'm really all that involved on campus, but trust me, they are. Deshawn, I know you were involved. I know you fill your hours. That is great. And I will now turn the same question over to Jackie. And Jackie, I just have to say before you answer, you have the coolest last name because y'all, the word buzz is literally in her last name. So I feel like she didn't have the option to go anywhere else. But anyway, I'll turn it over to you.
That is fair. That is fair. I came to Tech from Tampa, Florida in 2016. Shameless plug at our Super Bowl. You can see behind our bookcase. Thank you. Exciting stuff. I graduated this past May, so a recent alum with a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. While at Tech, I was a Mechanical Engineering Ambassador, President of the Women's Recruitment Team, a member of the Society of Women in Business, Students Assistant for GTRI, and then I was also involved with Greek life like Deshaun. I interned at an engineering firm in Atlanta and then also at Amazon. And I studied at GTL for a summer. Right now I'm working as a software engineering analyst at Accenture in their Atlanta office, which is actually in Tech Square. So if you can tell I love tech, I did not go far. I can actually see the campus from our office building. And then right now I'm also on the board of the Georgia Tech Women Alumni Network and a volunteer recruitment lead for the nonprofit Chick Tech.
That is awesome. Sounds like you had a lot of involvement too, and were involved in some really great things. For our admitted students who may not know the popular GTL acronym, you'll hear that a lot on campus, and it is actually a Georgia Tech satellite campus located in Lorraine, France. So, it's an option for you. It sounds like a really tough life. It's right near the beach, so it sounds like a really tough study abroad semester. But definitely check that out if you're interested in traveling the world. I think, fingers crossed, by the time that y'all become official students and eligible for study abroad opportunities, the planes will be ready to take you over to France. So definitely check that out. So both of y'all have got some questions from a student's perspective, and so I'll turn it over to Deshaun first and then to Jackie. So here's question number one. Thinking back to when you first started undergrad at Georgia Tech, what do you wish someone would have told you about college, specifically at Georgia Tech?
I would say that when you're in school or wherever, if you're planning to go to college, you hear all that generic stuff like college is different than high school and, you got to focus more on all that stuff. I think that specifically at Tech, we're a different breed of students here, and I mean that in the best way. I really think that there should be some emphasis placed on not just passively saying, yeah, college is different from high school. No, you need to be on your stuff when you come to this institution. Discipline is the name of the game. And I think that's the word that I wish would have been drilled into me is discipline. Because whether or not you succeed, it has nothing to do with how smart you feel that you are or any advantages you came in with or disadvantages. It's about how disciplined you are and how willing to go get it you are when you get here.
Love that answer. Jackie?
Yeah, I'm kind of something similar. I would say, you got into tech for a reason. You are the top of your class, you're great students. And I know when you kind of first get here and you put all those great students together, like Deshaun said, we're a different breed here. It can feel kind of overwhelming because, you may not be the top anymore. But just remember when it gets hard, you're here for a reason and you belong here.
Love it. Great answers. Agree with all of that. Sounds great. All right, our next question. All of us have our favorite hangout or study spot on campus. So can you both share your favorite spot on campus and why it's your favorite spot? I think this will be really useful for our admitted students when they finally step foot on campus officially as Yellow Jackets. Deshaun?
All right. I think my favorite spot to study, and this was in the tour video at the beginning, is going to be West Village. So I love Starbucks, and there are two on-campus Starbucks spots. There's the Clough Undergraduate Commons building, and it's West Village. It just so happens that most of my friends live on West Campus, and they have great study rooms that you can close up with comfortable chairs in West Village. So that's probably a great spot. You can sit in there with some Starbucks, plug your laptop up, and get your work done.
Great. Jackie?
Yeah, I'd say mine, which also has a Starbucks location, is the CULC, the Clough Undergraduate Learning Center, the rooftop. They have a really nice view of Midtown, downtown Atlanta. You can study up there. I definitely love being outside, so it's kind of a nice way to study outside, but just a great, kind of way to take a break between classes. I will say I was driving to campus the other day, and I noticed they have a bunch of new hammocks on the west side of campus by the sustainability building. Yes. Chandler, maybe you know the name of that. I'm blanking.
Yeah, it's a new center called the Eco Commons.
Okay. Well, they have some new hammocks there, I don't know, maybe 15. So that would probably be my new favorite spot. So I would definitely check that out if I was a student now.
Yes, today was a great hammock day. And I will complete the Starbucks triad because there is another Starbucks it's on West Peachtree and 5th Street. It's in the Scheller College of Business, which is my favorite study spot. So it sounds like Starbucks is a popular option on campus. Thank y'all for that. So before we have y'all go, we're just going to play a quick game, test your Georgia Tech knowledge, called Georgia Tech by the Numbers. So I've got some helpers here that are going to help me keep track of your scores. But basically, here's how we'll do this. I'll pose a question, and then Deshaun, you can give an answer, and then Jackie, you can give an answer. We'll compare, and then we'll give out points based on correct answers. So y'all ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Number one, how many acres is the Georgia Tech Atlanta campus?
That 300.
Okay, Jackie.
I'm gonna go with like 570. I feel like it's pretty big.
All right, so that question is going to go to Deshaun. He was a little closer. I think we really need to split the middle with y'all. Georgia Tech's Atlanta campus is 400 acres. I think we should maybe say 404 acres just for the fun of it, the 404, the area code. But anyway, it's about 400 acres. So that question goes to Deshaun. He's got a 1-point advantage. All right, question number 2, since we're so good at numbers. How many undergraduate students, approximately, do we have at Georgia Tech? Deshaun?
15K.
Okay, Jackie?
It's like 16K.
All right, that one goes to Jackie, so we've tied it up. 16,159 was the last total count, but both of y'all are close there. I think a lot of people are surprised to find that Tech is that big. So, all right, our next question.
I only know that from being a mechanical engineering ambassador, so I had a little heads up there.
There you go. All right, okay. Little unfair advantage, but it's okay. We'll give you the point. How many blue lights and call boxes are spread across campus? Deshaun?
Blue lights and call boxes. Jeez. I'm gonna say 30.
Okay. Jackie?
I don't know. I feel like I see them everywhere. I'm gonna go with 100.
Okay. So Jackie was closer, but I gotta be honest, neither of you were that close. There are a whopping 550 total. So if we do a little math, 400 acres divided by 550, that's more than 1 per acre, which is awesome. But Jackie, you're going to get the credit for that because you're a little closer. I guess this is Price is Right style. Post this without going over. 2 more questions. All right, this one you should both get. What is Bobby Dodd Stadium capacity when we're not in coronavirus times and we're operating at 100%? Okay, Sean?
Oh, gosh, I'm terrible. I'm going to say 30K.
Okay, Jackie?
70K?
All right, so if I do math in my head real quick, Deshaun is quicker. He was 17. Well, no, I guess if it's 55,000, Jackie was a little closer. So we're going to have to give it to Jackie because we're not playing Price is Right style on pulling over. But again, I think y'all just need to join a team and average your answers together because you would be spot on. There are 55,000 seats capacity in Bobby Dodd Stadium, and we are looking forward to seeing it full again, hopefully, in the next football season. All right, last question. I'm going to go ahead and preface with this is a trick question, so just be mindful of that. How many miles are on the Ramblin' Wreck? On the odometer right now. Hey, Sean?
Trick question. All right. Wow. Okay. Maybe none.
None. That's a good answer. Okay, Jackie?
Yeah, I was going to say I would normally have said 100,000 if you hadn't said trick answer, but I could see the zero, maybe reset it every time. I'll go with 100K though, just to be different from Deshaun.
Okay, so that question goes to Deshaun, but I will say you actually were closer at 0 miles than 100,000, and here's why. Don't get me wrong, the wreck has not driven 100,000 miles. But what they do is when they do major repairs on the Ramblin' Wreck, they actually reset the odometer. So a little tidbit here for all you people that are interested in this kind of thing. They did an engine repair in 2006, around 2006, and from 2006 to today, the Ramblin' Wreck only has about 13,200 miles on it, but it is the best it is in the best shape of any Model A Ford in the United States of America. So, freshman tip before we go, as a first year, don't touch the Rec. It's bad luck. We'll lose to UGA in football. You got to wait until after the UGA game, and then you can touch the Rec, hopefully after a win. All right, so our final score on this one, it was a really razor tight, but Jackie, you edged Deshaun out 3-2. So congratulations. I don't know what your prize is. Maybe it's school pride. I don't know. We'll get in touch with you. But seriously, thank you all so much for joining us and giving your perspective and playing a game with us. Good luck to you both on your future endeavors.
Thanks, Chandler.
See y'all. Well, that just about wraps it up. Thank you to all of our admitted students for joining us this afternoon. And as a final note, we want to give you just a quick rundown of what to expect as you move forward as a newly admitted Yellow Jacket. So if you know Tech is the place that you want to be, don't wait. Make sure you pay your tuition deposit and secure your seat in Georgia Tech's class of 2025. Be also on the lookout for future admitted student virtual visit opportunities through your admission portal. These opportunities include the chance to learn more about your next steps, interact with current and future Georgia Tech students, and hear more about your academic college and campus resources available to you, and there are just about a bajillion. Thank you all again for tuning in with us today. Be on the lookout for future Connect with Tech sessions throughout this spring. Before you go, I have one more note just from a personal perspective. Choosing the right college, as many of our guests have said, can be very difficult. I personally chose Georgia Tech because it was the one place that a human being looked me in the eye and said, "We want you to come to Georgia Tech." Nowhere else I applied. Nobody ever said that to me, and it meant the world. Here at Georgia Tech, we absolutely take our admission decision very seriously. And every single one of you opened an email that said, "You got in." So let me be the person that looks you in the eye and says, "We want you at Georgia Tech." Congratulations again on your acceptance, and go Jackets.
Congratulations on being accepted to Georgia Tech. This is a place that was created to improve the human condition and advance society in progress and service. Our students and faculty are constantly searching for new ways to improve the world around them. This is a place with a deep tradition of academic excellence. Consistently ranked as a top public university and one of the leading research institutions in the world, Tech will challenge your student academically and help them grow and thrive. This is a place that is constantly moving, changing, and buzzing. Your student will be surrounded by world-class faculty and engaged, passionate students who will help them imagine, create, build, innovate, design, and launch their ideas. This is a place with a proud athletic tradition. As members of the ACC, we compete in 17 different sports. You will experience the excitement of game day and the passion of the Yellow Jacket fan when you come to campus for family weekend. This is a place that started with engineering, but now has a global reputation for its research and experts in business, computing, design, liberal arts, and the sciences. This is a place in the best city in America. Atlanta boasts phenomenal restaurants, sporting events, theater, shopping, and continues to attract companies from around the world, right to the heart of Midtown. We know you have a lot of great college choices, but we believe this is the place for you. Welcome to the Yellow Jacket family.
We are part of the Tech family.
Congratulations on your student getting admitted to Georgia Tech. Our daughter Alana is a third year majoring in chemical engineering.
Alana absolutely loves Tech. She loves the diversity of the student body, the diversity of the faculty and the academic programs, as well as all the different activities.
Georgia Tech was an easy choice for us. They are one of the top engineering universities, not just in the US, but in the world. They offer great research opportunities, internships, co-ops, that really set our children up for success.
So now you have one of the great choices ahead, and Georgia Tech is one of our favorite places because it's full of tradition, innovation, and one of the most respected institutions in the world.
Yes, and one of my favorite things is Atlanta is one of the biggest hubs for companies coming to innovate and to create business here.
Welcome to Tech.
Go Jackets.
Congratulations on being accepted to Georgia Tech.
Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
Go!